An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. This is taken around the 12. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. This is Swift on the counter. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down. We're able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the 1st down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the 1st down. Excellent tackling right there.
Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
Second and 10 now from the 27. To throw, it's Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A.J. Dillon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Lions, nothing. Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Here's Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. Fancy footwork at the 45. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Lions at 0-7, winless to start the year. And they come in wondering what on earth is going on here.
And Brandon, I reflect back to one time we had one of those deep philosophical talks about getting up every day and going to work and the whole deal. Can you imagine what it's like for this team? Every morning they wake up. They haven't won a game yet. How do they figure their way out of this one? How do they play well enough to get at least one win before this season is over?
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss loss of 1.
This defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Goff now to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Goff. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
All right, 1 out.
Here's Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
After the penalty, it's Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. is Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who's one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 6.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Goff. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Rodgers.
got a man. It's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from a strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And as a running back, you've got to be saying, where did he come from? He covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and he was able to stop his man before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. After the interception, here's Goff.
They start near mid.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Rodgers now to throw. Able to find Lazard. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just saw receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Add this gain to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Linval Joseph breaking free and dropping it. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Mason Crosby on for a field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
The kick by Crosby is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Here we go.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Packers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
Here's Rodgers. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 60. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now Crosby for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Packers 17, Lions 7. Mason Crosby to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Darnell Savage there to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Goff. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On 2nd and 9, Goff. This one swung out to Williams. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Swift going to try up the middle. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
On 42-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
Shifts past him at the 45.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Up the middle, Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. An inside give to Jones. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting through.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be...
And yet again, Goff is intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That intercept.
And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The Packers will set up for the 2-point conversion.
Rodgers will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on it.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Goff now looks to throw.
He'll get this off to Swift.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson to return. Oh, nice move. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Romeo Okwara shooting in there and dropping it for the sack.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing is Rodgers. Right side caught by Jackson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Once again, it's Swift.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Listen.
Here's Goff. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a 1st down throw. Gone.
He'll find Swift out of the backfield.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. from just shy of midfield. Goff. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there.
Here's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To the air again. Goff.
He's got this, complete to Williams.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Goff on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Gone.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. Sharks got it, left side.
And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That's taken at around the 40. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On 4th down, Goff. Open man right side is Shark. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Lions an extra DB in the game now here.